Hi guys, welcome to MMA Wired. Change is the only constant is a wonderful quote, and it stands so true. Take for example Dana White's ever-growing innovation, the MMA. It's just growing in popularity incredibly. As a rabid fan of MMA, do you ever just stop and say, wow, how did MMA get this far? Just about everywhere one can see, someone is sporting a Tapout shirt. With the UFC starting to show fights on Fox, it's no exaggeration to say this sport has gone mainstream. Back in 2005, people used to call this sport an underground obsession that hardly anyone knew about. Now, people from all over are talking about the UFC, and one can deduce that this growth in popularity has just begun. So today, let's ponder about the reasons why MMA is becoming so popular day by day. By the way, please do like, share, and subscribe to MMA Wired, and also hit the bell icon so that you never miss your dose of entertainment. So without wasting a sec, let's dive into today's venture. How Dana White changed MMA into a global sport. The biggest reason why one can say MMA is reaching heights is the Fox deal. More and more people are going to be flipping through the channels, catch a fight on TV, watch it, and like it, and sooner or later, they'll be just a new MMA diehard fan. That's how the whole fandom got hooked, right? A big reason for UFC's growth is not only how athletically gifted and talented the fighters are, but also because the company's ability to market fights is second to none. Just look at what the UFC was able to do with its debut on Fox. It peaked around 9 million viewers, and the fight lasted a little more than a minute. Not only did it do great in the United States, but it's been heavily reported that the fight did around 60 million viewers in Brazil. That's crazy! The truth of the matter is, White and his company have a sport that can translate in any language and any country. Everyone gets fighting. It's in the blood, and it's human nature to pick up your hands and go to combat with another person. Human nature is bound to love strife, struggle, and hunger for dominance and power, and this sport satiates that hunger for power and achievement when a fan's beloved player wins. The NFL has experienced troubles going into other countries because football is an American sport. Most people from other countries don't understand it, and that's where White and the UFC have an advantage. Another great reason is Dana White's prudentially and morally amazing decision to focus equally on female MMA fighters. Not only does this fight against the world's misogyny, but also shows the world how powerful and talented women fighters can be, and this hooks a large amount of female audience who find inspiration in these fighters. Inclusive chances for all is indeed a big reason for MMA's massive growth. Dana White and his hard work and intelligence have been of immense importance for MMA's growth, and it did not come handy but has taken almost 2 decades of blood, sweat, and tears to become the behemoth it is now. That blood, that sweat, and those tears have largely belonged to White, and to understand how the UFC went from the brink of collapse to the great modern success story, you have to understand Dana White. His journey and the UFC's are completely entwined. Independence and self-reliance were ingrained in White from childhood. He would frequently be left alone in the house with his sister because his father was an alcoholic and mother worked tirelessly in different jobs. My dad was an alcoholic, was never around, and when he did show up, you didn't want him around, he previously explained. One of the things about growing up alone is that there's a lot of stuff you have to learn on your own. I honestly wouldn't change one thing about the way that I grew up. If I didn't grow up the way that I did, I wouldn't be who I am today. He spent much of his childhood in Massachusetts, but also spent a portion of time in Las Vegas, where the crucial first piece of the UFC jigsaw puzzle was made. It was there he became friends with Lorenza Fertitta, but White's time at Bishop Gorman High School was short-lived as he was expelled. Every day, he would kick shut a large door and send the nun teaching inside into a frenzy. His friends worked out that the nun was so enraged that she would spend the rest of the lesson ranting and raving rather than making them work. So every day, White, in another class, would go to the toilet and kick the door shut on his way. But once, he got caught and was expelled from school. It was back over on the eastern side of the US that White finished his education and began to make his way in the world. He graduated and worked different menial jobs, but one day had the epiphany that there was nothing to lose by pursuing a career in the fight game. In a live show with Tony Robbins, White told the story about the moment his new life began in earnest. He was a bellman in a hotel at the age of 19 and explained, "I was standing in the lobby one day and thought, what the hell am I doing here? So I walked out the front door and one of my good friends, who is still one of my good friends, the doorman, said, 'What are you doing?' I said, 'I'm quitting. I want to be in the fight business.' He said, 'That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life.' I just thought, what's the worst thing that could happen if you try? The day I walked out of that hotel, if it doesn't work out, I can go and be a bellman again whenever I want to. I always knew what I wanted to do, and every day when I woke up, I worked towards that goal. I didn't even have a car. I had a mountain bike. I rode everywhere in town." This was his wonderful life story on which stands the MMA. Did you like his life story? And to what extent does it inspire you? Can Dana White be completely given credit for MMA? And which decision or quality of MMA do you think is the game changer? Do tell in the comment section. The bottom line is that this sport is one of the greatest sports in the world, and if you catch a glimpse of it, it's easy to fall in love with it. It has some of the best athletes in the world, with most of them showing honor and respect, and it's truly remarkable to watch these fighters pull these techniques off. All they need is a platform to show the world, and this Fox deal for the next 7 years is going to do just that. MMA is already becoming a global phenomenon. The credit all goes to the amazing skills and determination of Dana White. So friends, this is all about how Dana White changed MMA into a global sport. Thanks for watching the video. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and also hit the bell icon so that you never miss your dose of entertainment. MMA Wired will be right back with more amazing content just for you. Till then, keep growing, keep smiling.